right, Ms. Ferguson, we need a jury trial date for this case.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
my client has a prior case back from 2021. And also she picked up a new case this year in May of this year. I haven't had much time to review the latest case. I discussed the matter with Travis, and we're trying to work both of them out, and we think we can get a plea by the next time, but he needs to speak with the complainants in these cases. So
all right.
Partially the reason. Additionally, Judge, in the prior case, she's remanded with a bond. The prior bond was $35,000. I'm asking that the court set a bond on that case.
All right. So, State, which case are you going on for jury trial? The 2022 CR 3280, or either the one that I have before me, which is 2023 CR 6843?
Well, I mean, the better trial case is going to be the 2022 CR 3280. So that's not the case that I'm working on.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. How long is this trial going to last?
Probably 3-4 days.
All right. Yes. Family violence, 3 to 4 days.
Well, the 2022 CR is the CTD case. Our case probably would not be the one that goes to trial, Your Honor.
All right.
So if you,
Well, just 1 second. CTD. This is Latasha Jenkins on the 2022 CR 3280. Are you all going to trial on that, or have you all conferred with Mr. Leal?
No.
All right, so you all need to confer.
Well, I tried to confirm with him, and he referred me to the new case.
Yeah, I made an offer on the new case. I just increased the old offer that they had on.
Okay.
So technically, I did.
Case.
All right, but now he's saying that if it goes to trial, it may be criminal trial division. So I think state defense and criminal trial division, you all need to talk to see if that's actually the case, because otherwise the case that's going to trial is 2022 CR 3280, because that's the oldest case that the court has.
And that's the CTD case.
You actually,
Okay.
and if the court will set a bond on the older case, I appreciate it.
All right, so you'll need to file a motion. And then, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date.
There is a motion on file, Judge.
Okay, so, all right, so December 5th is going to be your jury trial date. So one of these cases is going. All right, and if you'll talk, Ms. Ferguson, his request for a bond, if you'll forward that to Judge Nahara, please. All righty, we'll see you back on that date
Thank you.
for your jury trial. And that will be a jury trial date, Mr. Leal, and a plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Latasha Jenkins. And State, is this just a plea on one case?
It is a plea on both. Well, TIC the other year.
Okay.
Or that's the proposed version.
So you all are just going on one case for a plea, correct?
Correct.
All right. And counsel, you're on this side. Court is calling 2023 CR 6843, State of Texas versus Latasha Jenkins. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
And for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Rafael Leal for Latasha Jenkins, Judge.
And are you Miss Jenkins?
yes,
And Norma, I'm going to need a PSI date.
Open that.
February 1st. Mhm.
That's why I did it. Give me 1 second. January 4th.
All right, January 4th. Probation, this is an application.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Jenkins, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Ms. Jenkins, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
In the indictment, you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, Judge.
Ms. Jenkins, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no, ma'am.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is silent on your application. They're taking in consideration 2022 CR 3280. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Andre Carruthers, Corothers. There's to be no contact with Tiffany Sansom, Sansom. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state,
Yes, Your Honor.
showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No,
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State offer states one and attachments.
no objection.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Wavering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports?
Yes, ma'am.
Most importantly, there will be no live testimony.
Yes, ma'am.
State, have you had a chance to speak to the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. With respect to the complainants on the CTD side, I know they made several attempts. They were unable to reach that complainant. On our side, the complainant had 2 cases pending in Barrett County. Since those were closed about 6 weeks ago, we've made attempts and we're unable to reach the complainant, but we made attempts for both, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. We will come back on January 4th. At that time, I'll make a decision on your application based upon the PSI report and any other evidence that's presented. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there going to be a request for a TAP evaluation as well?
Yes, Your Honor, and I also am requesting, my client has been unable, I believe there is no bond set on one of the 2 cases. So I'd like to have a bond set, given that that the situation has changed. My client has admitted responsibility, and the state is going silent for punishment purposes. I would like to, to apply for the court or to the court, to grant either a PR or a low bond.
All right, PR bond will not be granted, but what I can tell you is, if you file the motion, we will hear it. We will have, Judge Nahara hear it as well. But if she makes bond, when she makes bond, it's gonna push back her PSI date. Ms. Ferguson, can you give her a reset form just in case she makes bond? All right, all right, is there anything else?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 6843, State of Texas versus Latasha Jenkins. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Seal Landers for the state.
Defense?
Rafael Leal for Natasha Jenkins.
And are you Ms. Jenkins?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea of no contest on December 5th. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is silent on your application. They're taking in consideration 2022 CR 3280. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I call Andre Carruthers to stand.
All right. Carruthers? Deputy Laura, we have a witness. All right, Mr. Carruthers, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Andre Carruthers.
All right, defense?
Yes, Your Honor. How do you spell your last name?
Corrothers.
And what is the type of your relationship to Latasha Jenkins?
My boyfriend.
Right? And are you the complainant in this case?
Yes, sir.
And, and this is the incident that occurred May 5th, 2023, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you understand the accusation and the offense that Miss
Oh, just 1
Jenkins.
second off the record for a moment. Excuse me. If y'all could move down to this end. All right, you may continue, counsel.
Thank you. And you know the charge that Miss Jenkins is facing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Yes, sir.
And she has applied for deferred education, which means a type of probation that there will be no conviction if she follows the guidelines and does not commit any other offenses or comes up positive with drugs.
Yes, sir.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And are you opposed to Ms. Jenkins getting probation?
Am I against it?
Are you against it?
No, sir.
Okay. So you are in support of that?
Yes, sir.
And there is also a provision perhaps that the court may impose that there will be no contact with you if she's granted probation. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I was told.
And do you oppose the contact order?
Yeah.
And do you oppose no injurious or hazardous contact? Are you in favor of that? Which means
Yes.
the two of you or she cannot have or give you any kind of injury or
Yes,
be a hazard to your health.
Yes, sir.
You think that would be okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And concerning the incident, what type of injury did you receive?
It was like a scratch.
Scratch?
It was like a scratch.
So there was nothing else besides that? Okay. Were you two on drugs at the time?
Yes, sir.
What type of drugs were you doing?
Man.
And she cannot be having, if you two are in contact with each other, she cannot be having or be using drugs. Would you be able to support that, even that you're also a drug user?
Yes.
When you still using
Against
drugs?
it. No, sir.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Are you still using drugs? Yes or no?
No, ma'am. Oh, no, ma'am.
All right, Pastor Whitney.
All right, any questions?
No question, Chairman.
All right, so I see here that she stabbed your bag several times. No. According to the police report, it says that she started cutting up your bag.
Did I know of?
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes.
I call Natasha Jenkins to stand.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sure.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Natasha Jenkins.
All right, defense.
Ms. Jenkins, you applied for a type of probation known as deferred adjudication probation, is that correct?
Yes.
And that is a type of probation that if you do not comply with the requirements of that community supervision, deferred adjudication, the judge has the full range, if you violate a condition, the full range of punishment, anywhere from as low as 2 or up to 20 years. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, do you intend to abide by the conditions of probation that the court may impose?
Yes, sir.
And why do you think that is the case?
Because I'm changing my life. I sat in Dare County for almost a year and I completed successfully classes, got certificates. I got recommendations from the teachers in unlock programs for the outside community to better be successful with my mental health and my substance abuse and me, period.
And the programs that you completed, are those included in Defense Exhibit 1? Do you recognize Exhibit 1?
Yes, sir.
And Exhibit 1 consists of 8 pages of certificates covering the different programs that you attended.
Yes, sir.
And that includes anger management, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And also therapy groups
Yes, sir.
and Microsoft Word
Yes, sir.
and Excel
Yes, sir.
and exhibit number 2. What is that?
The letter to the judge Boyd from Lisa Rodriguez, the unlock program.
Okay, and what type of program is the online program?
They help you with any classes that you need that the court orders for you. They help you with the fees. It's for continuing care. It's a reentry program. They help you with anything that you need to help me get back on my SSI, get my SSI started again, and to get me with a part-time job, whatever SSI allows me to work outside of SSI.
In few words, is that they help you to reintegrate yourself to society?
Yes.
Okay. I offered exhibit 1 and exhibit 2 for.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor. State has reviewed these.
All right, then defense exhibit 1. And defense exhibit number 2 is admitted into evidence.
Now, prior to this incident, were you on SSI?
Yes.
And were you also working part-time?
Yes.
And what do you intend to do, or what are your plans if the judge were to grant you a deferred invitation?
Get back on my SSI and continue a part-time job that SSI allowed you to work and maintain my mental health.
What type of mental health illness do you suffer from?
Bipolar and PTSD.
And were you on medication at the time of this incident?
No,
Okay, and are you on medication now?
yes.
Okay. And do you have a place to stay
Yes,
if you were granted probation?
yes,
And where would that be?
my brother's house.
And does he know that that's what you're planning to live?
Yes, he's been supportive for me since I've been in the veteran.
Do you have any children?
No.
Also, with children.
Any questions?
So you're-
All right, why did you cut your boyfriend with a knife?
We were into an altercation and I didn't intentionally do it. When I like pulled it out, it was like a scratch that was gone like within maybe minutes.
All right, why were you cutting up his bag?
I don't remember cutting his bag up. I don't remember that at all, cutting the bag.
All right. Why have you not been successful on previous probations? Because I see that you've been on probation in
Yes,
Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes. I was in Des Moines, Iowa. My mother died. My husband went to federal prison. My brother left state. I was the only one there. I had no support system there. And I was like going house to house. I like couldn't maintain employment.
What is the escape?
Oh, it wasn't escape. It was dropped from escape. I left from the place that they sent me to after I got out of jail. It was a involuntary absence. That's what they dropped it.
No, and where did they place you after you were released from custody?
It was like a halfway house
Okay. And you left without permission.
on Sunday.
And then, so that's from 2007. And then 2011, you were placed on probation again and revoked. And all of this is out of Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes.
Then in Knoxville, Illinois, you were revoked from probation there as well.
Knoxville, Iowa.
No, it says Knoxville, Illinois, Marion County.
Yeah, that's Iowa.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then Hamilton County, Illinois.
Iowa. I don't know why they put Illinois.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. And then Dallas County.
Yeah, that's Iowa too. Iowa was just a bad area. Since I left there, I have been so much better. Like I was like, my life was not great there at all. I had no support there. Like I said, like my mother died, my brother left town, my husband went to federal prison. My life was just not great there. That's why I left there and came up here and lived
All right.
and
Well,
started my life.
I've read defense, I've read all your exhibits and I've read your letter
Yes, ma'am.
from Ms. Rodriguez. I appreciate you presenting these to me because it gives me a chance to know the person that's before me. And I also am taking in consideration the testimony of Mr. Carruthers. However, I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. So I'm going to find you guilty. There's to be no contact with Andre Carruthers, Tiffany Sansom, Sansom. There's affirmative finding of family violence, taken in consideration 2022 CR 3280. I'll sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I've actually given you less than what was requested. And there's also an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I've actually given you less than what you bargained for. And because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and also an affirmative finding of deadly weapon and a conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Jenkins, good luck to you, okay?
And is it possible if I get my 2-for-1?
You'll have to, here's what people don't understand. 2 for 1, 3 for 1. The court is not in charge with that. It's whatever institution you're at, they're in charge of what credit they give you. What I can tell you, you will at least be receiving time for every day that you've been in jail. And whether they want to give you good time credit or not, that's dependent on the institution. But if there's an issue, for example, let's say hypothetically, you've been in jail for 50 days. If you feel like you're not getting credit for those entire 50 days, then your attorney can come back. But if you want 100 days or 150 days, that's something with the institution. It's not something that I can give you. All right, good luck to you.
And we
keep it working like Oouchie the boss. We tryna catch up like we hit us a fault. We gotta win, ain't taking no loss.